What if I told you that hidden within your own body lies a secret, an ancient and sacred substance that has the power to transform your life? This mystical element has been known for thousands of years, whispered about in secret societies, guarded by spiritual masters, and referenced in ancient scriptures. Yet, despite its profound significance, the vast majority of people have no idea it even exists. But today, we're going to uncover the mystery. This is the story of the Sacred Secretion, also known as Christ oil, a hidden treasure within your very being. It's not just an esoteric myth or a mystical fantasy. This ancient wisdom teaches us how to tap into the natural rhythms of our bodies to achieve enlightenment, unlock higher consciousness, and awaken our true spiritual potential. What makes this concept even more astonishing is that it's been present across different cultures and religions throughout history. Whether in the Bible, the teachings of Eastern philosophies, or even in ancient Egyptian lore, sacred secretion has been revered as a transformative power capable of connecting humanity with the divine. How is it possible that such a powerful force has remained hidden in plain sight for centuries? What role does this sacred substance play in both the body and the spirit? And how can you begin harnessing it for yourself to start living a life of clarity, peace, and spiritual fulfillment? We'll unravel the science, the spiritual practices, and the historical context that explain how sacred secretion works, why it's so important, and how you can incorporate it into your own life. The truth is that this knowledge has been deliberately obscured by those in power, but it is now re-emerging, ready to ignite a spiritual revolution. Stay tuned, because we're diving deep into the mystical world of sacred secretion, a concept that links the physical body with divine energy, crossing the boundaries of science, spirituality, and ancient tradition. This mysterious secretion, often referred to in religious and mystical texts, goes by many names: chrism, the Christ oil, or the milk and honey. It's mentioned in the Bible, described in the traditions of Eastern religions, and forms the backbone of many ancient philosophies. In Christianity, for instance, it's linked to the idea of anointing, a divine process that brings one closer to God. In Hinduism and Buddhism, it's seen as a sacred nectar of enlightenment. But what is it really? At its core, the sacred secretion is a process that occurs within our own bodies. It's a substance that is produced by the brain and, through a spiritual journey of preservation and discipline, rises through the spine to bring about higher states of consciousness. The key lies in understanding how to nurture and preserve this sacred essence. In this video, we're going to explore how the wisdom of the sacred secretion can unlock untapped potential within all of us. So, whether you're new to this concept or looking to deepen your spiritual practice, you're in the right place. Let's begin by understanding the origins of this ancient knowledge. Throughout human history, the idea of a sacred substance or essence has appeared across multiple cultures and spiritual traditions. This mystical secretion is more than just a biological phenomenon. It's been considered a pathway to divine connection, enlightenment, and even immortality. One of the most well-known references to the sacred secretion comes from Christianity, where it is often symbolized by the oil used in anointing. Anointing, in the Bible, was a deeply sacred act performed to consecrate kings, priests, and prophets. This oil was believed to be imbued with divine power, a physical manifestation of God's blessing. When a person was anointed, it marked them as chosen, setting them apart for a holy purpose. Similarly, In the story of manna, which appears in the Old Testament, we see another form of sacred substance. The Israelites, wandering in the desert, were sustained by this miraculous food that appeared each morning. For many, manna represents a divine secretion, an ethereal sustenance that provided not only nourishment, but a direct connection to the divine. Yet, the concept of the sacred secretion transcends Christian teachings. In Hinduism, we find the term Amrita, a divine nectar that is said to grant immortality. According to Hindu mythology, Amrita was produced during the churning of the ocean, a collaboration between gods and demons in a quest for this sacred elixir. This nectar, much like the Christ oil, symbolizes the ultimate prize of spiritual ascension. Buddhism also offers its interpretation of this mystical substance in the form of ambrosia. Often linked to enlightenment, ambrosia is considered the divine essence that liberates one from suffering and opens the path to nirvana. The parallels between these various teachings are striking. Across cultures, the sacred secretion is seen as the key to unlocking spiritual potential, enlightenment, and divine favor. Even in the esoteric traditions of ancient Egypt, the symbolism of sacred secretion is present. The Egyptians revered the pineal gland as the eye of Horus, a powerful symbol of higher consciousness. They too believed in the power of raising the sacred oil within the body, allowing it to ascend and bring about spiritual awakening. These cross-cultural connections illustrate one undeniable truth. Humanity has always been drawn to the idea of a special, divine essence within. Whether referred to as chrism, amrita, or ambrosia, sacred secretion has captured the imagination of spiritual seekers for centuries. This universal quest for a divine connection demonstrates that the sacred secretion is more than just a biological process. It is the bridge between the physical and the spiritual, guiding humanity toward enlightenment. Sacred secretion is not just a mystical idea. It has a tangible connection to the physical body, specifically to the brain and central nervous system. At the heart of this process are two tiny but powerful glands, the pineal gland and the pituitary gland. Known as the third eye in many spiritual traditions, the pineal gland has long been revered for its connection to higher consciousness. Let's break down how this works. The cerebrum, the largest part of the brain, is where the process begins. From here, a sacred substance is secreted into the pineal and pituitary glands. These glands, referred to in esoteric teachings as Joseph and Mary, release two distinct secretions that symbolize masculine and feminine energies. The pineal gland produces a golden fluid often referred to as honey, while the pituitary gland produces a milky white fluid known as milk. Together, these form the metaphor of the land flowing with milk and honey, as mentioned in the Bible. But why are these fluids so important? These secretions are believed to carry vital life force, energy, connecting the physical body with spiritual consciousness. The fluids travel down through the spinal cord, interacting with various nerve centers along the way. As this sacred secretion flows through the body, it has the potential to nourish and revitalize both the body and the mind. This process can be likened to an inner alchemy, where the body transforms these secretions into spiritual energy. If preserved correctly, through fasting, meditation, and avoiding excess desires, the sacred secretion rises back up through the spinal column, activating higher states of consciousness as it ascends. This is the key to unlocking spiritual awakening. Modern science has only recently begun to catch up with what ancient mystics already knew. The pineal gland, for instance, produces melatonin, a hormone that regulates sleep cycles and has been linked to enhanced states of awareness and deep meditation. Furthermore, the pineal gland is responsible for producing trace amounts of DMT, a compound associated with mystical and transcendent experiences. In spiritual terms, this journey of the sacred secretion represents the raising of the Christ within. As the secretion ascends, it activates dormant areas of the brain, leading to heightened awareness, inner peace, and even moments of enlightenment. This fascinating intersection between biology and spirituality shows us that the sacred secretion is more than just a religious or mystical idea. It is a profound physical process that connects us to higher dimensions of existence. Preserving the sacred secretion is the key to unlocking its full potential. While the body naturally produces this sacred oil, its journey towards spiritual ascension can be easily interrupted by the distractions of modern life. The temptations of overeating, excessive desires, and negative emotions such as anger and stress can prevent the sacred secretion from reaching its highest potential. In other words, we must actively guard and nurture this sacred essence if we hope to experience its transformative power. In esoteric teachings, the phrase raising the seed is central to the idea of spiritual awakening. But what does it really mean to raise the seed? Simply put, it's about living in alignment with higher spiritual principles that allow the sacred secretion to ascend the spine and reach the brain. This is a process of self-discipline, where one must exercise restraint from indulging in lower, worldly desires. So, what does this preservation look like in practice? It starts with mindfulness. By avoiding lust, anger, greed, and other negative influences, we create the right conditions for the sacred oil to be preserved and rise within us. Abstaining from excessive eating, fasting, and avoiding toxic environments are also key elements of this process. This aligns with the idea that less energy spent on unnecessary indulgences means more energy is available for spiritual growth. Meditation and prayer play a crucial role as well. By calming the mind and focusing on higher consciousness, we create a state of inner stillness where the sacred secretion can be nurtured. This state of preservation not only leads to spiritual growth, but also to physical well-being. People who follow these practices report improved mood, better sleep, and even enhanced immunity. But the journey isn't always easy. The world is full of distractions designed to pull us away from our spiritual path. From constant digital stimulation to the pressures of modern society, it can feel like the entire world is working against our efforts to preserve the sacred secretion. This is why commitment to the practice of preservation is essential. It requires dedication to living a life of peace, love, and selflessness. According to spiritual teachings, each month that the sacred oil is successfully preserved brings one closer to an anointing experience, a moment of enlightenment where the oil anoints the brain, elevating consciousness and bringing clarity and spiritual insight. This is the true meaning of being born again in the spiritual sense, not just as a religious metaphor, but as a profound internal transformation. Now that we understand the importance of sacred secretion and its preservation, the question is, how can we practically harness this ancient wisdom in our daily lives? Fortunately, the steps are simple, yet require consistency and commitment. By following these practices, you can raise your sacred secretion, allowing it to support your spiritual transformation and physical vitality. 1. Mindfulness and meditation. The first step is to cultivate mindfulness. Meditation is one of the most powerful tools for preserving and raising the sacred secretion. By calming the mind and focusing on your breath, you reduce stress and prevent the secretion from being lost through excessive emotional energy. Aim to meditate daily, even if it's just for 10 to 15 minutes. During this time, focus on creating inner peace and visualizing the sacred oil ascending your spine. 2. Fasting and an alkaline diet. Another key element is fasting and maintaining an alkaline diet. Fasting has been practiced by spiritual seekers for millennia as a way to conserve and elevate spiritual energy. By abstaining from heavy foods or fasting intermittently, you give your body a break, allowing the sacred oil to flow more freely. In addition, eating a diet rich in alkaline foods, such as vegetables and fruits, reduces the body's acidity, making it a more conducive environment for spiritual growth. Third, controlling desires. One of the greatest challenges to preserving the sacred secretion is controlling lower desires, whether it's overeating, consuming alcohol, or giving in to lustful thoughts. These indulgences can drain your vital energy and prevent the secretion from ascending. Practice moderation and restraint. By avoiding overindulgence in these areas, you ensure that the energy required for spiritual ascension is preserved. Fourth, grounding and nature. Connecting with nature is another powerful way to preserve and elevate the sacred secretion. Grounding, literally putting your feet on the earth, helps to balance your energy and realign your body with natural rhythms. Take time to walk barefoot on the ground, breathe deeply, and appreciate the natural world around you. This helps stabilize your energy and promotes a sense of peace, which is essential for the sacred secretion to ascend. 5. Setting intentions and positive energy. Finally, live with intention and a positive mindset. The law of attraction teaches us that what we focus on expands. By setting the intention to raise your sacred secretion and focusing on positive, high vibration emotions like love and gratitude, you align yourself with higher spiritual frequencies. This allows the sacred secretion to ascend more easily, bringing about physical healing, emotional stability, and spiritual enlightenment. By incorporating these simple but powerful practices into your daily routine, you'll be on your way to harnessing the full potential of sacred secretion. Remember, the key is consistency. These small changes, practiced over time, will lead to a profound transformation. In summary, sacred secretion is an ancient concept that holds profound meaning for spiritual growth and enlightenment. This mystical oil, secreted within our own bodies when the moon is in our sun sign, has the power to connect us to higher states of consciousness. By preserving this sacred essence through self-discipline, mindfulness, and a life of peace and love, we can experience true spiritual transformation. The journey of raising the sacred secretion is not easy. It requires dedication, awareness, and a commitment to living a life aligned with higher principles. But the rewards are immeasurable. Those who succeed in this practice often describe feelings of clarity, inner peace, and a deeper connection to the divine. It's a journey of becoming born again, not just in a religious sense, but through a tangible transformation of body, mind, and spirit. Now, it's your turn. Are you ready to embark on this journey? Are you prepared to start raising your own sacred secretion and unlocking the potential within? If so, the steps are simple. Practice mindfulness, control desires, ground yourself in nature, and live with intention. If this video resonated with you, be sure to like it, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment below, sharing your thoughts or experiences with Sacred Secretion. We'd love to hear how you're incorporating these practices into your life. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you won't miss any future videos on spirituality, ancient wisdom, and self-transformation. Remember, the power to transform is already within you. It's time to unlock it.